Hey, bro, when you think about failure, I'm sure just like most other people in the world right now, you have a pretty negative connotation towards it, right? And this is a pretty big problem. This is something we need to change immediately. So that's why in this video, I'm going to teach you not only how to use failure to advantage and not hate it. Instead of trying to avoid it altogether, I want you to look forward to it and almost be excited for failure. But before I do, I'd like to let you know about the Taylor's Code. And what the Taylor's Code is, it's a little private community where myself and other people that are extremely successful within their fields are teaching inside. Now, I just want to make sure that you can have the chance to get in while it's at the price point that it is, because this is going to be huge and the price is inevitably going to go up as time goes on. So that'll be the first link in the description. Make sure you get in while you can. So when you're going to do something really difficult, very challenging, or if it's just your first time doing something, right? What is your first instinctual action when you fail? If it's something along the lines of self-deprecation or lack of action, then this is a huge, huge issue that we need to resolve immediately. Thinking like this will always keep you stuck. Almost like the story that people tell of the flea in a jar. It'll only bounce up as far as it can. If there's a lid on there, they can't go higher than the lid. And in this situation, that lid is your way of thinking towards failure. As soon as you unscrew that lid and there's an opening, you can then ascend to the next level. So obviously that's what we need to do here. So I'm sure if you've been watching my content, you've realized that for nearly a month now, I haven't been posting on my YouTube as I should have been. And that's due to the fact that I've been caught up with my business and really starting to neglect the important things like this and some of my self-improvement habits as well. So as you can imagine, this is a problem. And I started to beat myself up over it and start to think of myself as lazy, incompetent, anything along those lines. And that right there is the reason that it's gone on for nearly a month, maybe even a month at this point. So now that I've reframed my mind in the way that I'm about to teach you, I'm back in front of the camera as I should be, providing value to you. So that mindset shift that you need to make is that when you fail, you can't necessarily look at it in a bad way. Now, let me explain. Failure is like a stepping stone, right? Without a stepping stone across a river, you can't necessarily get across it, right? If the current's too crazy, which is exactly like life, that will take you and then just keep you stuck as a river would. Now, if there's a stepping stone there, which failure is, then you can then get across it. So what I'm saying is failure is essential to get to the next level. So if you're watching content like mine, watching my content, or even if my content is the first of this kind that you're watching, but you dig it and you get some type of value from me speaking to you, then I'm sure you're the type of person that always likes to get to the next level and improve themselves all the time. And if this is correct and I made a accurate assumption about who you are as a person, then I could also assume that this is something you should be actively seeking. You should almost try new things all the time, seeking failure just because it levels you up as a person. Because without failure, as I said, you're not going to get anywhere. It is a stepping stone. For example, if you were to ask a billionaire, right, what their failure to success ratio is, I'm sure when you look at their successes, you'd be surprised at how low it is in comparison to the failures. Because without the failure, there wouldn't be any success. Failure will teach you more about yourself than anything else ever will. Failure will take you places in your own mind that you wouldn't even imagine possible. It'll take you to really dark places, these ugly, ugly, disgusting places. And as I said, this will really show you who you are. It will show you what type of character traits you will have, what your real personality is, how far are you willing to go, how much are you willing to sacrifice. So when you fail, you need to make sure that you're using it and taking it as a learning lesson as it is, because otherwise you'll be making the decision to let it beat you down every single time you encounter it. Instead of, I'll make this analogy. Instead of being in a boxing ring and when you get hit, are you going to think about it in the way that, oh, okay, should I have gone this way and ducked that way or went back or hit him back? Or are you just going to get hit and be like, oh, I suck, this is terrible, I got hit, how am I going to get hit? This is what you need to decide with life. You're just going to let it beat the fuck out of you every single time you get hit? No. You're going to get hit, and when you get hit, you're like, okay, cool, I got hit. I need to learn from this. How can I become better? How can I never get hit again and always hit back? That's what you need to think about. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in life without an enormous amount of failure. I fail all the time I'm failing. I've tried so many different business models. I've tried so many different jobs in my life. I've tried so many different ways of trying to develop myself that have never worked. Hours and hours and hours of my life not wasted, because that's how you'd be thinking about failure wrong. As if you'd be thinking about it incorrectly if you were thinking about those wasted hours as a failure. See, how I think about those hours is, those hours were essential for me to figure out the right thing, and now I'll always know the right thing. So those hours is a trade for success. Those failures were the trade for success. And that trade is essential. You need this to go to the next level. It's all a part of the game. If you had spoken to, say, the shredded guy in the gym, the guy that's huge, the guy that you would question if he's on steroids or not when he's natural, that type of guy. When he first came into the gym, do you think he knew what the fuck he was doing? He came into the gym doing the complete wrong shit. He's probably doing bicep curls like this, like he was doing the wrong shit, eating incorrectly, right? But he had to make those mistakes in order to become the person he is today. The self-made millionaire, same thing. He didn't just go out there, make his first business, and then boom, millions of dollars. You'd be astonished by how many times that guy that you're speaking with has gone on to try different things and how many businesses had failed leading to his success story. Understand that these stories of misjudgment and mistakes are the ones that are going to craft you into the person that is able to achieve at a high level. These are the stories that one day you'll be sitting back and telling people with pride, because you were able to overcome the adversity and the hardship that then created you in order to achieve these things that most other people aren't ever able to achieve. So don't ever think that you're a fuck up because you've made a couple mistakes. By you fucking up, you're making the best possible move on the chessboard of life that you could possibly ever have. And that is learning. That is developing yourself. That is self-improvement. But until that time comes where you're an old man, old woman, sitting on your rocking chair, telling your grandkids about your story, you just need to learn to love it. You need to learn to love this shit, because until then, it's a rough ride. But once you understand that rough ride and you learn to love that shit like you love your family or love whatever you're passionate about, once you love it like that, you'll start succeeding at such a rapid level that you don't even think it's possible. Nobody will think it's possible around you. they'll question what you're doing. They'll think you're doing illegal shit. They'll think you're doing steroids. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you're going to succeed at such a high level that people are going to doubt that you're doing it in an ethical way. But on that note, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're gaining some type of value from my videos like these, drop a like. Subscribe so you can see it more often on your recommended so you can gain more value like this. And if you really find it valuable, share this with someone that you think that you could potentially help by them seeing my content, because that'll be a pretty cool feeling if you could help someone out just like I do. Anyway, that's the end of this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.